Raheem DeVaughn. Do you like Oprah?
How you doing, Kera?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
That's excellent. So, welcome to Kera Dangerous Talk, sir.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, you welcome. So, look, the way I love to start off my show is I got to give you your flowers. So, I want you to sit back, relax, and let me tell you why I like you, Mr. Devon.
All right.
All right. Now, the first time I heard your music, I was in the car riding to Stamford, Connecticut with my friend Keith McConaughey. And Keith is known for playing R&B and soul. And I have to be honest, like I'm a hip hopper. So sometimes when I used to ride with Keith, I'm like, okay, I do love R&B now, but sometimes I just want to hear a little hip hop, okay? But he played your song, and I go, "Who's that?" And he said, "That's Raheem DeVaughn." And ever since then, I've been into you, and I can tell you what I learned right away. You have some very loyal fans. Like they are down for you. And what they always say about you, they call you like Mr. DC. I don't know if you know that, but it's like whenever they say Raheem, they gotta let me know you from DC. It doesn't matter who I ask. But I just appreciate good singers, and your voice is so very soulful. When you sing, it's like some singers that look like they having a bowel movement. You don't look like that. You look like it's just flowing, baby. You do it so effortlessly, and it's just like you're like a songbird. So I just want to honor you by saying that I've been seeing your hustle, your grind throughout the years, and you put out constantly good material. So I'm so happy to talk with you today,
Oh,
and I just
thank you.
want to learn more about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So since I said you're known as a DC guy, I was kind of surprised to know you were actually born in New Jersey.
Yeah, I was born in New Jersey.
But when you were a little boy, I know you were already envisioning yourself as a singer. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, definitely. I always felt like that was something that I wanted to do or would end up doing.
Now, I heard a story that you were a really big fan of Babyface. How did Babyface inspire you?
Um, I would say probably the biggest thing, inspiration wise, would be um the songwriting and song structure. Just kind of like really studying um the format of how songs are written. Where you place the ad libs at the first 4 bars and 8 bars of the song, the intro of the song, the verses, whether that's 8 bar verse and then a 8 bar pre hook, or and then it comes. You know what I mean? Just arrangements. How important like bridges are to songs at that time. Um, I just I was just like a student. It's kind of listening to him as well as a few other artists. It kind of like taught me how to write the records.
Yes. Babyface was that man. He could sing, right? His family could sing. So it's like he's the perfect person to look up to in the game. But let's go closer to home. Because isn't it true your father was a musician or is a musician? What did you learn from him?
Yeah, my dad is a retired jazz cellist
Hmm.
under the artist name of Abdul Wadud. Um, I think just I have a lot of me and him for sure. Just um, being following his footsteps as an independent artist at this point, and starting out as an independent artist as well. Being as I was on a major for a little bit of time. I mean, we had a lot in common that we could talk about even like now with like publishing and different things related to like business. And so I'm able to get advice or help him with certain things related to his business too now. Having things that I'm knowledgeable of. Um, he recently just reissued a vinyl record that he had put out some years ago. Um, and so I've been helping him with a few things. And the people actually hit me up, believe it or not, for
Hmm.
interviews, like to do interviews with him. So
Oh, that's a blessing.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. He has a lot of students that he taught. as well as musicians and whatnot that are huge fans of his music.
Yes, you know what that reminds me of? Nas and his father, because Nas' dad is a musician as well, and they
Absolutely,
both, you know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, yep.
So, am I wrong in saying that you're known as like Mr. DC? Am I exaggerating, or do you know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I think I think any artist that's um, obtained the level of success that I have, and that goes hard for the area. DC is known for being proud of their artists. You know what I mean? So I think you know I think you people do the same type of they brag about a number of artists that are from the area and saying like, yeah, he's from the area. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean I appreciate the love. Um, they gave me a key to the city back in 2011. So
Wow.
I don't know if it can get any more Mr. DC than that.
Absolutely. So you laid a lot of groundwork in DC. You were hustling, you were hitting the stages, making sure people knew who you were. And is it true you did a lot of you didn't rely on your record labels to only push you. You pushed yourself. Tell my audience some of that groundwork you laid for yourself to get your name out there.
Primarily doing mixtapes, jacking people's beats, taking music that I didn't own and songs that I was fond of and stuff like that, and taking the beats and chopping them up and doing my own remixes to them, taking the instrumentals, doing my own remixes to them. That's something that I was known for in the area. That's where I really made a name for myself with the DJs and really getting, like the city behind me, music lovers behind me. Um, that was primarily it. Doing, of course, doing a plethora of like, independent shows, open mics, all kind of stuff. You know, um, I continue to, I continue to find ways to, reinvent myself, reinvent the wheel. You know, that's what it was all about then. At that time, just like really, just kind of, just really, just figuring out ways to just connect and keep the eyes and the ears and the local masses on me. And then at the same time, it started to spread through the internet as well. Using platforms like Live Mixtape at the time,
Mm-hmm.
datpiff.com, and stuff like that, and just really, I really followed in the footsteps of like hip hop artists like yourself. I'm a huge um, fan of hip hop culture, um, but more importantly, like the drive and the hustle behind it. With like the West Coast artists, Midwest artists, and how they packaged their music and really just sold it themselves out the trunk. Watching what 50 Cent was doing at the time with G Unit was an influence on me as well.
Now, when you have to kind of grind and you out there doing the showcases, selling mixtapes, and you trying to get your name out there, that can be a little frustrating sometimes when things aren't moving as fast as you would like. Did you ever get frustrated? Did you ever want to give up during that time?
Yeah, I mean, I get frustrated now when it comes to the music business and some of the things that transpire, things you have to go through as an artist when you deal with when you do partnerships and stuff of that nature. It's just the
Hmm.
nature of the business. You know what I mean? Just really staying on top of your game and dotting your I's and crossing your T's. But I never been one to give up though. I never that was never giving up has never been an option. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's more so just really figuring out how to get it done and who can get it done and how we get it done is always been the end goal.
Is it true that you wrote songs for Drew Hill?
Um, I didn't write any songs for Drew Hill. I wrote a record or two for Jazz from Drew Hill.
Okay.
When they were transitioning into doing um, their solo artist careers. You know what I mean? But I was again huge fan of Drew Hill. Coming out of the area. Who had music out probably a decade before me. or some years before me. Genuine as well was my
Hmm.
first introduction into the music business, singing background for Genuine. Um, just a lot of the anything that was coming out of the area, it was inspiring because it let me know that what I was working on at the time and my dreams and aspirations at the time, that I could succeed and do those things too. If they had already done it, it's like if they can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So shout out to Drew Hill. Shout out to Cisco. We just did the Secret
Secret
Garden
Garden.
Secret Garden remake together with Omar Wilson and Sean Stockton from Boys to Men.
Now you got to explain how did that come together, and are you guys gonna do more songs?
Um, that came together, a relationship that me and Omar, um, we bumped into each other in LA maybe 2 years ago, maybe 2 3 years ago, for the Image Awards, and so the relationship started there, and we kept in touch, and I always try to just exemplify and show artists the love that I want back. I know what it is to be like a new artist and meet people and they blow you off and act and give you weird energy and stuff. So I pride myself on just being me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So me and Omar clicked um, on that vibe, and I told him, if you ever want to do something, you want to collab on a record, need me to pen something, or just
Hmm.
let me know. So they stayed in touch. His camp stayed in touch. Shout out to Lou, um, who's on his team, uh, and BSC, the label. They reached out. They reached out, and when they reached out, um, Lou initially told me he had an idea to do the Secret Garden record, and he asked me on my take on it and what I thought, and I mean the rest was history. It happened organically. You know, it happened organically, like and real stand up guys. They flew us out to LA to do the video, and just made sure we were safe during the pandemic in that
Hmm.
process. And yeah, man. So in terms of doing more records, I would love to. It's been some chatter about us possibly doing some group album or
Yes.
something, which I'm open to all of that. I just did a record in the last, but I mean, in the last week, last 7 days or so, I just did a record with Keith Sweat, so that's coming. So
Ooh.
Keith Sweat featuring myself. That's his record. So people can look forward to that coming.
Is it a
Um,
baby making record?
oh, it's definitely a baby maker. So I think it's something that definitely the women gonna love. They're gonna love it. You know what I mean? You know, they
I
they they
love
they call
that.
they call Keith the Godfather of R&B. You know what I mean? So uh, he's just a great person. Good energy, and uh, learn a lot. He I could see myself in that lane. Some years from now. In terms of just no nonsense dude. Is like with Keith. It's like what you see is what you get.
Hmm.
Um, and I seen him. He's always just helpful, man. Just to a lot of different people in the art, different my peers. You know what I mean.
Yes.
So when I got that call to do this record and jump on it, I was extremely excited. You know what I mean? Like um, that feeling never gets old when you get calls from people that admire, study, grew up on, have been fans of.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
if you would have told me in 88, 1988, 89, 90, 94, 95, like if you'd have told me that I would be able to have him on speed dial, like you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yes.
so
He
so those
sweat
are
with that man, boy.
yeah. So those are
Yes.
things that I don't take. Those are things that I never take for granted, um, in this business. So, again, when I working with Cisco, you know what I'm saying, working with Sean, on that record with Omar Wilson, it was very important for me to make sure that I executed and brought what I needed to bring to the table for the reason of why I got the call in the first place. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
yeah, they again they huge talents. You know what I mean? To be able to stand beside or vocally and just everything. Because I'm fans of them as well. So um, it's been an interesting journey thus far.
Yes, I bet it felt like you was almost dreaming when you work with people that you've just been seeing on TV since you were a kid. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's real. It's real when you get the files. Like when they send you the session over,
Yes.
then that's when it's like it's real. You know what I mean?
Yes. I got so much to get to. I know we only have a little bit of time. So real quickly, I want to know, how has COVID changed the way that you conduct your music business? Because I know you still giving concerts and you still, singing to us.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. You get caught, you get a little cough, or you feel under the weather, a sneeze, and you like oh shit, I got the COVID. You know what I mean? So, uh, constantly having to get tested and making sure that you can still do things to provide for your loved ones. The gamut, it's changed. It's the platform has forever changed of how we do things, and it sounds like it's going to continue to change. You know, so it's just an interesting time for us as artists in understanding like uh, what it will be, how things will move moving forward. Um, everything's in real time, so you just work through it. You stay focused.
Yes, sir. Before we go behind some of your lyrics on your new album, I just want to say, because the ladies are going crazy in the comments, you are a sexy guy. You are, I mean, it's the lips are sexy. I like the little bandana, the black bandana you've been wearing. I'm just feeling all of it. And then I mean, if you would just sing in front of me, I probably would just turn into mush. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You laying it on thick today.
But I look, if you ask anybody about me, I'm very genuine, and I'm telling you, you bringing sexy back. Forget Justin Timberlake, baby. You bringing it back. And let me tell you, you look very youthful too. You
Oh
look
yeah,
very
I'm
youthful.
I'm definitely in reverse uh, uh reverse mode. You know what I mean? In terms of just health is wealth and taking care of myself, and yeah,
And I'm not
that's
trying to say
important.
anything, but I am currently visiting DC at the moment. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying that you got to do nothing with it. I'll just let you know.
Oh, you in DC like right now?
Yes, sir. I'm
Oh, that's
normally
what's
in New
up.
York down the East Coast, but right now I'm in DC. I'm kind of somewhere you kind of grew up at. I'm just, you know where you grew up at, so I'm just letting you know.
So as a journalist, you like moving around and like is that a common thing for you? You kind of got to go to feel the energy of who you're interviewing. Is that what that's about?
I'm doing it for you, baby. Look, I'm doing it for you. The Love King, baby. I'm for real. What?
Where's that accent? What's that accent that you have? Everybody's talking about your accent and how
Baby, every show they ask me the same question. Y'all need to get
yeah.
familiar. I'm from Macon, Georgia, the hometown of Little Richard and Otis Redding, baby.
I've been to Macon a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody been through Macon. You here in 75 South, baby, going to Florida, going to Atlanta. We right slap dab in the middle.
It's sweet, sweet. Yeah, the women from Macon are always been very sweet and kind to me.
Boy, you better stop. Well, I'm telling you, look, I jump through that screen. Mactown, you know they call it Mactown, don't you, Love King?
yeah, they got the Mac. Yeah, they know for being the Mac.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, let me hurry. Look, let me get back to business before the time run out, because I do want to go over some of the lyrics.
Now we got as much time as I say we have. Don't we
Ooh,
good?
oh,
So we got a little minute. All right.
is it
Don't
like
don't
that, Daddy?
don't
Daddy,
rush.
is it
Don't
like that?
don't rush through the process. Take your
Okay,
time.
okay, okay.
Woosah.
Uso. So your latest album, What a Time to Be in Love. Mr. Raheem, what were you trying to give us with this latest project?
Um, man, give I wanted to give people something that wants to make them, I wanted to create the soundtrack with a bed music, not to be
Mm.
cliche, to like making love and the intimacy and to promote to I said to promote to promote.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to promote black love. You know what I'm saying? Like intimacy and bring something different, be a breath of fresh air. Musically is always my goal. I try to sing it and deliver it and write it um, in a way that I haven't done it yet,
Mm.
and in hopes in a way it hasn't been conveyed or delivered, yet. You know what I mean? Because if I do it the same way somebody else does it, it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't make it like special. You know what I'm saying? So I want it to be like memorable.
You did that. You definitely did that. So right now, I you could tell me if I mess up your lyrics or not, because your friend Skyzoo, he didn't mind telling me I got
Yeah,
funny lyrics.
shout out to Sky Zoo. We were just texting the other day. It's funny you talking about lyrics. We Sky Zoo is on an album um to give you exclusive. I have another album coming out
Mm-hmm.
in May slash June tentatively,
Mm-hmm.
and it's with the label Mellow Music. So shout out to Mellow Music. Shout out to my man Mike and Mellow Music. Shout out to Apollo Brown, producer Apollo Brown, who produced this entire body of work. So
Oh, okay.
much like what a Time to Be in Love. The entire album was produced by the colleagues in KP. This next project is produced by Apollo Brown out of Detroit, and Sky Zoo is is one of the features um, on the album. I wanted to do something with a few of my favorite, MCs of all times and currents right now. So Sky Zoo is on the project, so I had to hit him up to get him to send the actual lyrics to his
Yes.
verse because I've been spending the last few days like typing out the lyrics on the iPhone and all of that, you know.
Do you like doing songs with hip hop artists? I mean, we know you friends with
Yeah,
Skyzoo, but just in
nah,
general.
yeah. I've been on Sky Zoo. I've been on the last few projects that he's put out. He has one that's coming like soon that I'm on.
Oh yeah,
Like you
he
know
we
what I
was
mean?
talking about that. He was on my last interview.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like um, yeah, I love it. Like I wish I did more of it. Like I like to do
Mm-hmm.
more. But in terms of like uh my list of people that I work with, it's not, it's definitely a dope list of people. Sky Zoo, who is phenomenal MC, ghostwriter
Yes.
for who knows who, because they can't
He
ever
said you
say like,
better not tell though. He
yeah, you can't tell, but he's ghostwritten for a lot of people. Um, Mad Skills, VA Skills, Skills from
hmm
VA, same thing. We worked and he's ghostwritten for people. Um, Man, Wu Tang, I got records. I've done work with Method Man, Raekwon, Ghost. I just talked to Ghost in the last 12 hours. Like he just sent me a verse for something else
Wow.
for another project that's coming. Um, so man, so many people, man. T Pain, um, The Roots, you
Mm.
know. Um, but there's
You
still
like
people.
good music. You
Oh
that
yeah,
cause
yeah,
that
yeah,
yeah. You
yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I still I still would love to work with Jay Z. I still would like to work with Nas. Um, I would love to do something with Lauren Hill. I would love to do something with Kendrick. Um,
Is it
I,
true Chris said Michelle's your cousin for real?
we still trying to figure it out. That's something that my mother and her mother came to the conclusion of at a show like backstage. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Not interrupt you, but naming those lists of people, I was just wondering if y'all cousins, did y'all ever get together and
Yeah,
sing or you know?
but it's we like we family regardless though, because it's just like I want she didn't she started out with me but didn't start out with me. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
the first tour she did, like it was like with me. You know what I mean? It's like she was opening up. It was just like her and a piano, and I watched her just like evolve, like or like when you take a seed and put it in the dirt and water it. and you see it
Mm-hmm.
start to root and flower, and it's like you know what I mean. Then the record came out with Jay-Z, and it's like
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah.
People think it
Mm-hmm.
happens overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight. Um, but it just was incredible to see it happen right before your eyes. Even now, um, you know, who she is and what she's become, even, through the whole thing she went through with Trump and,
Oh
performing
yeah, I remember
and that whole thing, you know what I mean? Like that's fam to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the conversations, the intimate conversations we've had, the way we've checked in on each other over the years. I wouldn't turn my back on her. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
Well, family or not, y'all both can sing. So hey, that's definitely in the water. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna go behind the lyrics. Here we go. And I'm
All right.
glad you said it. On your album, What a Time to Be in Love, like you
Okay.
said, the producer, the colleagues produced pretty much everything on there, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's some co-production credits and stuff. Shout out to the people. Shout out to everybody that contributed to the project. But as far as like from a musical standpoint, like I entrusted KP to delegate and oversee it.
And who is and tell us who is R.A. Brown to you because they were featured on a couple of tracks as well.
So Rob Brown, who's a spoken word poet, uh, writer, artist. She
Mm-hmm.
writes scripts and does a lot of voiceovers and a lot of different things. Ironically, when I started out doing open mics years ago, she was the one that would like host the open mics and run the open mics. And I just always thought she had a phenomenal voice, and she was always a phenomenal spoken word poet. So just kind of getting back to my roots and of the music that I love making and that I feel like is missing from the game. I've been incorporating her in a number of things I'm doing. We actually have an entire body of work that it's probably about 80% done. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like a erotic audio songbook.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's gonna be lovely.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
Wait,
more for like
you said what kind of songbook?
erotic audio. It's real grown and mannish and like 18 and over.
Ooh.
Definitely, after Mr. Midnight Hours type of project, something to spice up your bedroom if you're in a relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, then, and you loving on yourself, I might have to create some type of, I've been anti-Bob in the past, but I may have to,
Mm-hmm.
for this particular project, I may have to create some type of goodie box.
Ooh, I like the way that sounds. Okay, King.
But that's
Look,
who
can I?
Rob Brown. That's who Rob Brown is.
Yes, I like that. Can I call you King?
You absolutely can.
Yes. Ooh, y'all R&B people. Oh, you gonna make me pinch myself.
See why it's fun on the R&B side.
Oh, yeah, y'all get people in trouble. That's why. That is why. Look, we really gonna go behind these lyrics. Let me keep Raheem from messing with me. Okay. So your single, you have a video to Mr. Midnight. I love the
Yes,
video.
yes.
That video is beautiful. I love the colors that's in it. You really set the mood with that one. So your lyrics in that song goes, "Let me be your Mr. Midnight. In the midnight, just call me up and I'll satisfy you till tomorrow. Just call me Mr. Midnight. That's who I'll be. All your dirty little thoughts and your freaky fantasies." Okay, baby, is that a booty call? Or what's going on in Mr. Midnight?
um, I wouldn't necessarily call it a booty call, because that's what I would have called it. I'm very literal in the sense. I very much wear it on my sleeve, but it's kind of like it's kind of like the soundtrack to like you riding to go get it. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Or or you waiting because to receive it,
Okay.
depending on who you are. So you know what I mean. Like it's You know, when you think about midnight, midnight is like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's like that perfect. It's like the perfect time to
Mm-hmm.
kind of like pull up because
Mm-hmm.
it's not too late, but it's not too early. It's kind of like if you want to go ahead and kind of like skip date night and get to it, it's right around that time you can get to it. Or if you want to like hang out, if you're the type to still hit the club, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, and what have you, like it's midnight is that hour. It's like it's that time frames.
I'm gonna
The,
summarize it for you, y'all. It's a booty call. That is a booty call. You just said it so beautiful and
it's
poetic. That's
it's
a booty call.
but it's you know what? It's a booty call if it's not. Booty call sounds like a one night stand. You know what I'm saying? I never been,
Okay.
even if even I never. So I'm not like one night stand material. So I can't speak for nobody else, but
Mm.
you know what I mean. Even with if it's an intention of it, maybe the intention was to be the one night stand. Like you know, if in a stage of celibacy right now, but like if if I'm hit, I'm a hit. 'Cause you gonna want me to hit again.
Wait, you said you're in a state of celibacy?
Yeah, but but I also said if I'm a hit, you gonna want me to hit again. Like I ain't
Okay. Look,
like
I
so
got look, I got
so
you.
so Mr. Midnight is not appropriate. Like it's not appropriate for like a one night stand like
Hmm. I
material.
got you. Yeah, my bad. And that's what I want to say I like about you too, because your songs, they're not, even if it seem a little dirty, it's not nasty because you somehow seem to make it romantic. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I mean, it's poetic. It's not. I don't feel like art. I think sex and art. I think when you mix sex with art, a lot of times when we think about sex, people associate sex with being nasty. Me, I look at art. I look at sex like art and or being creative, and I also look at like more importantly, I look at like creating music,
Hmm.
like creating art. Like it's like the track is the canvas. You know what I mean? And the words and the ad libs and the oohs and the ahs, the falsetto. Those are the paints and the textures. You know what I mean? And um, so I pride myself in the deliverance of it being very poetic,
Hmm.
but still very seductive, erotic. You know what I mean? And just not like someone said in the comments, like vulgar. Like I never want you to. Um, you might look at yourself in the mirror the next day and feel different.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, and did I just do that? Did I just do all of that, or did we just do all of that?
Yes.
But 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 then also understanding, kind of like really having like knowledge of self and understanding like the act of it all.
Hmm.
Um, it's really like intimacy is a spiritual thing too. You know what I'm saying? It's a soul tie. So everybody don't deserve to be able to connect with you like that. You know what I mean? They might
Yes.
have that.
Yes.
They might have that desire to connect with you like that. They might have, So it's you realize that you're able to determine whether or not you operating from a place of love or lust. You know what I mean?
I used
And
to have a song called Love or Lust. I'm liking you, baby,
and and
because
I and I'd prefer, so for me I'd prefer to have, if I had to have one or the other, I'm gonna go the love route. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because I rather um I rather be able to love on you and then have and be able to enjoy the lust that comes with the love than to just lust on you and then it ain't no connection, or you know what I mean, like move forward.
yeah.
But it wasn't always like that. That's something I had to kind of like, I had to grow into that, or understand the difference, or understanding that we vessels and spirits and energy, and how sacred that is. And
That's beautiful.
I'm still a work in progress, but it's still a way to, but I'm still gonna talk my shit though. I'm still gonna talk my talk. You know what I mean, and mean what I say. So
Me and you got a connection because not only do I have a song called Love or Lust, I have a song called Talk That Talk. And I knew when I was listening to your music, I said he's got to be romantic because the way you write your love songs, kind of like how I write my rap songs that are love songs, you're very sensual, you know. And I want to know, is that really who you are as a person? I don't feel like you just writing. I think I think you look at love in a different way. I think you break it down because that's what I do.
I
That's how
mean,
I feel when I hear your music.
I mean, I consider myself romantic or sensual, but for your what I'm realizing in dating or partnerships and you know relation from a relationship standpoint is that it's really based upon your partner's ex- previous experiences
Yes.
that they're able where they might they might consider you um, a romantic or not or not so much a romantic. You know what I mean? So it's really unfortunately it's really kind of based upon what bar was set or not set previously before you.
They have to be able to receive it
Yeah, you
too.
got to be able to receive it, determine it, um, and more importantly, appreciate it because um, everybody don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But what I just said. Going back to what I said, everybody doesn't deserve the, everything or you. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that believes in moderation is important too. Um, you know, and then there's the fear of sometimes enough is never enough.
Mm.
You know what I mean? For some of us, you know what I mean? It's like having the ultimate high and then you just want more. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yes.
it's why on a serious note, it's why some people are addicts. Have chemical dependencies to crack or different things because they chasing that hit of something that they just will never be able to get that highest high again.
That's why you got to take your time with it.
Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, you definitely have to take your time.
Okay, so we love Mr. Midnight. I'm gonna move on to the next song, which is one of my favorite songs on your latest album, What a Time to Be in Love. Is Marvin's song.
Yeah, Marvin used to say.
Yes. Marvin used to say, I'm sorry. Yes, Marvin used to say. So it goes like this, the quote that I have. They say the world is changing, if for the better. Wonder if God left us hanging. Feels like he ain't been providing no shelter for stormy weather we've been facing. Oh, what's going on? Still ain't got an answer since Marvin left long time ago. Oh, what's going on? I want to know. Who do we run to? Wait, is that two different songs? No, okay. Yep. Who do we run to? Who do we call on? What's the use of still saying prayers if their fears they fall on? You want to believe there's a better place when it's all said and done. The key is the key to faith. I was raised, it reminds me of a song, What's Going On? That, I mean, I know I kind of slaughtered it, but that was a beautiful song and beautiful lyrics, and it was very soulful. One of my favorite songs on the album. Please take
Hmm.
us behind those lyrics.
So that's a record that I co-wrote on
Mm-hmm.
lyrically. A lot of that record probably was done before it got in my possession. Shout out to Loverboy Vo, who was
Mm-hmm.
out of the Carolinas. Shout out to Desperado. Shout out to Mike Blaze, who were all involved in that record, as well as myself and KP from the colleagues. It just when I heard the record, it hit home for me. I felt like um, it wasn't called Marvin used to say at the time. So the hook wasn't what it became to be at that time. And yeah, I'm just thankful for the opportunity of like creative um the creative process, you know what I mean? And as artists, we have to learn to be able to trust the process too. There's a lot of great songs out there with nobody to sing them.
Mm.
So that was one of those scenarios where a great song came across my desk, and we collaborated, and for the will of something even greater than us. You know, and shout out to Marvin Gaye. The actual video for that record, Marvin used to say will be dropping the week of his untimely demise and his birthday, which is, he passed on April 1st. His birthday is on April 2nd. So
Hmm.
the week of April 1st, April 2nd, um, we're gonna like that whatever that Monday is or Tuesday, I believe. Prior to the first and the second, we're gonna drop that video.
Oh, great. Okay. And please, y'all, check that song out. I was listening to it on Spotify. I really like it. It's very soulful. I want to move on to the next song, Motions. And the reason why I love this song is because we've all experienced this before. So here it goes. Is there love at all? Or are we just going through the motions? Is it worth that fall? Is falling for you worth the price of love? Do we?
I'm it looks like I'm gonna be shooting a video for that soon too. So we're just sorting out the business of it, but um, I think that that's a record where I wanted to. It was my way of letting women know that men think
Mm-hmm.
about the same things you do. You know what I mean? Even if we don't communicate it the same way you do,
Mm-hmm.
we think about those things. We have the same. We have fears um, and concerns, and as it relates to like matters of the heart and intimacy and like us we sometimes we trying to figure out what we doing too, or like when that conversation happens, like what are we doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we be trying to figure that out too.
Well, I love that you did that because, like I said, anybody and everybody can relate to that. And did you like my runs though? Did you? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that
those are
was
classic, those are
oh,
classic.
oh my God, that was
And i'm
so
and i'm a
amazing.
I'm a huge fan of Luther Vandross. So
Yes.
the delivery that Luther had. Um so I wanted to do something in the spirit of that, in the vein of that, like something stripped down, Luther, Brian McKnight, take it back to like the Brian McKnight first album, the Jamie Foxx first album,
Mm-hmm.
with just the voice and the piano primarily. So that was my intention with that record in particular.
You guys go check out his new record. Check out his videos. Keep supporting Raheem. One question I want to ask you before we go. Well, I got two more. How do you classify your own voice? Because I mean, you're R&B, but then you sound very much like a soul artist, and I know the two are very close. But how
I
would
str-
you describe yourself?
I straddle the line.
Mm-hmm.
I make soulful R&B. Um, I make timeless soulful R&B. That's how I would kind of describe it. You know.
Well, you're doing a very great job. I'm so glad I got a chance to talk to you and learn even more about you. I would like for you to tell the audience about your nonprofit.
Yeah. The Love Life Foundation. For more information on what we do on a regular, you can log on to lovelifefoundationdmv.org. Once again, lovelifefoundationdmv.org. We do a number of things. We fight domestic violence. We fight against child exploitation, sex trafficking. Uh, feeding the homeless, food banks, where there are deserts. Especially in this economy and pandemic and stuff of that nature. You know, there's been a need as of late for our elders who
Mm-hmm.
are in facilities locally. You know, with them running out of food and stuff like that. So we've been getting a lot of calls about that as well. Again, if you want to lend a hand or you want to support financially so that we can supply food and stuff like that for those in need right now, you can always make a donation to Love Life Foundation, dmv.org. Um, we also give out scholarships. The textbook scholarship fund is something we do. We're currently revamping all of our initiatives and the
Mhm.
board, and to be able to do more, in the future.
That's awesome. So romantic, giving, sexy, youthful. You got it all. What can we be looking forward to in the future? I know you told us a few things that we can be looking forward to, but is there anything else, any last remarks you would like to get out?
I mean, right about now, again, "What a Time to Be in Love." The new album is out, available. The record, Mr. Midnight. You can look forward to hearing that on your local radio stations. If you ride in the car and you hear it on the radio, Sirius XM, your local radio station, pull out your phone, make a video, at me, DM me, I'll repost it, all that good stuff. Check out the entire album. It's a great body of work. It's album number 8. Um, Also have a new album, like I said, coming, for the summer. Big shout out to Apollo Brown, Mellow Music. That's a very special project. Something actually we started working on that album back in, like, we closed that deal probably like back in 17 or 18.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I'm excited for people to um, get this body of work. Uh, I got some other things on the way as well. Um, I'm wrapping up the official, like, Raheem DeVaughn album um, too. So uh, it's just a lot. I just plan on putting out a lot of music. Um, it's the for me it's the era of um, quality and quantity,
Mm.
and when it comes to, like, what I do. So I'll be giving the world a lot of music and quality, quality and quantity.
We're looking forward to it definitely. And like I said, I'm here in DC, baby. If you need somebody to hang with, you know how to reach and touch and get me, or you know where I'm at to find me. So hey,
And
I'm
and
here.
and
It was
there it
very
is.
nice talking to you, sir.
I hear you, Miss Kara. You trying to get that ponytail pulled, huh? I hear
Well,
you,
if
baby.
that's what look, I didn't say that, but look, look, you said you don't do one night stands, and maybe I'm just trying to have a romantic dinner. What you talking about? See, look at you. Y'all seen the R&B come out of them. Y'all seen that? You seen that, y'all? That's how they get you in trouble.
I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sugar. You have a good night. Thank
I
y'all for
love life.
watching.
Love
Bye
life. Love
bye.
life. Peace.